Trump says Jinping to visit U.S. toward the end of the year. Trump says Jinping to visit U.S. toward the end of the year. Czech Prime Minister in favor of social media ban for under 15s. U.S. challenges Chinese control in race for African minerals. U.S. President Donald Trump has announced plans to host Chinese President Xi Jinping at the White House later this year, signaling a potential reset in relations between the world's two largest economies after years of trade tensions. The announcement follows a wide-ranging phone conversation in which the two leaders discussed key global issues, including trade, Taiwan, Russia's war in Ukraine, and Iran. Trump is also expected to visit China in April, ahead of Xi's planned trip to Washington. "These are the two most powerful countries in the world, and we have a very good relationship," Trump said. Since returning to office, Trump has imposed multiple tariffs on imports such as steel and automobiles, intensifying economic friction with Beijing. However, both sides reached a temporary trade truce last year, and their economies remain closely connected despite efforts by the U.S. to reduce reliance on Chinese manufacturing. During their call, Xi urged Washington to act with caution regarding arms sales to Taiwan, a self-governed island that China considers part of its territory. He also expressed hope that disputes between the two nations could be resolved through trust and steady dialogue. Trump described the conversation as, quote, "excellent," emphasizing the importance of maintaining stable ties. Japan's ruling Liberal Democratic Party is projected to secure a decisive victory in the snap election called by Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi, according to exit polls. Takaichi, Japan's first female prime minister, sought a strong public mandate just 4 months after taking party leadership, and early results suggest the strategy has paid off. The LDP is expected to win around 274 of 328 seats, marking a sharp turnaround after the party previously lost its majority amid corruption scandals and rising living costs. Takaichi's high approval ratings, consistently above 70%, appear to have boosted voter confidence despite concerns that calling a snap election was a risky move, especially after the collapse of the party's longtime coalition with Komeito. The LDP has governed Japan for most of the post-war era, largely due to a fragmented opposition. Voters across the country turned out despite heavy snowfall, making it Japan's first mid-winter election in 36 years. Czech Prime Minister Andrej Babiš says he supports banning social media for children under 15, citing expert concerns that the platforms can be harmful to young users. The Czech government is now seriously considering proposing legislation, with Deputy Prime Minister Karel Havlicek confirming that a bill could be introduced later this year. The move comes as several European countries, including Spain, Greece, Britain, and France, weigh stricter rules on children's social media use. Australia has already taken the lead, becoming the first country to ban access for those under 16. Officials worldwide are increasingly worried about the effects of screen time on children's mental health and development, as debate grows over whether social media platforms are designed to be addictive. The United States is stepping up efforts to secure critical minerals from Africa as it tries to compete with China's dominance in the global supply chain. Washington is focusing on countries such as Zambia, Guinea, and the Democratic Republic of Congo, a nation that produces more than 70% of the world's cobalt and millions of tons of copper each year. Instead of operating mines directly in high-risk regions, the U.S. is using financing deals known as offtake agreements. These allow American buyers to secure a share of mineral output in exchange for funding, helping redirect resources into U.S.-aligned supply chains without taking on major political or operational risks. Analysts say the strategy shows the U.S. is backing its ambitions with financial power, but it remains unclear whether it can match China's speed, investment scale, and long-established presence across African mining projects. Chinese firms still control many of Congo's largest mineral assets and have dominated refining for years, though expanding U.S. partnerships could begin to shift global mineral flows. The competition is expected to intensify as both countries seek new agreements at major mining events, highlighting the growing geopolitical importance of resources essential for technologies like electric vehicles, semiconductors, and renewable energy.